Hello, my name is Thomas, and I'm going to be sharing my passion of gaming with you all. So I hope you want to stick around. As this is the first video, I thought I'd just sort of break down sort of how I like to sort of analyse games. I like to put all games through the same sort of 4-pillar test. So the first pillar is visuals. So we sort of look at the marriage between sort of the technical power and the art design. Does the aesthetic support the game's identity? Second is the audio. I like to evaluate the soundscape, the score, and the quality of the voice acting to see if it truly immerses you in the world that it is set up. Next, we have the story. So we look at the sort of narrative depth and the lore of the world, making sure the pacing keeps the journey engaging. And finally, what we all play games for, the gameplay. I like to judge the sort of mechanics and systems to see if the game is actually sort of fun and rewarding to play. So, now that we've introduced what our ranking system is, let's jump in to our first game. So Hideo Kojima has always been a developer who doesn't like to play by the rules. So when the first Death Stranding came out, it was much more of a social experiment than a game. It was slow, it was polarising, it was weird, it was wacky, and for many, it was unforgettable. The sequels carry the weight of an expectation. So today I'm going to look into Death Stranding 2 to see if the formula has evolved or if it is just more of the same. Starting with the visuals, Death Stranding 2 is a technical masterpiece, but its art design is what really steals the show. The world feels alien but also grounded, and the leap in performance is just staggering. We aren't just looking at sort of high resolution textures, we're looking at digital acting that makes it feel human. Of every micro expression and every sweeping area that you go to, it works together to create such a cinematic standard and a world that just many games just can't match this. Moving on to audio. The vibe of this game is immaculate. The soundtrack doesn't just sit in the background, it's a reactive being, it kicks in at the perfect moment to elevate the mood, the isolation of the trek. Combine that with the top tier voice acting that this game has, it sort of brings this bizarre world, this bizarre script to life, and you have this audio experience that is haunting but also beautiful, and it's just outstanding. When it comes to the story, the evolution is clear. Whilst the first game was a slow burn, Death Stranding 2 sort of fixes those sort of pacing issues, that delivers a narrative that develops with more intent. The lore of this world has been expanded so much, and it provides a deep, rewarding history that makes you feel the importance of what you're doing. It keeps the sort of unique DNA of the first game, of a Kojima story, but it sort of delivers it with sort of better flow, and sort of just the stakes seem higher, and everything just sort of congeals together so nicely to sort of make the payoff right at the end so worth it. Finally, the gameplay. So the core loop of the delivery is still there, but it's been more refined. I find the quality of life improvements, like the addition of the ammo pouches and the bigger focus on sort of the non-lethal tools, make managing your gear feel a lot more streamlined and just a bit more sort of player friendly. And it kind of feels like definitely like a sort of less of a chore to sort of crack on with these. My only real critique is that I would have loved a little bit more on sort of the stealth mechanics, like maybe a dedicated crawl button or a pull mechanic. The rest of the systems are so tight. That is my only critique. Everything else just flows and plays beautifully. That's my only critique. At the end of the day, Death Stranding 2 is one of those rare sequels that keeps its soul whilst fixing its flaws. It's polished, it's weird, it's wacky, and it's a journey that just proves that the Strand genre has a lot of life in it, and I really want them to continue. So, with that being said, this game gets a 39 out of 40. It's a must play if you're a fan of Kojima, and if you just want something different, go and play this game. That being said, thank you all for watching, and I hope you found this breakdown helpful. If you like what you've been hearing, please hit that subscribe button, and until the next review, keep on keeping on.